Hello my friend, Amner Hunter here from amnerhunter.com. Happy to spend some time with you in another video. This time around we're going to be checking out the brand new plugin released by the company Kiive Audio. This is the Tube KC1 Tube Compressor, a great emulation of this super expensive, super sought after compressor, of course analog compressor, the Tube-Tech CL1B, right? A $4,000. Sometimes I have seen this piece of gear in $5,000, and Kiive Audio just created this plugin at a fraction of this price. This compressor was meant, or well, it was used more for vocals, but you can use it in other instruments as well. And in today's video I want to test this plugin across different elements in a mix with some before and after tests, and of course check out the simple to use features and controls with the analog qualities and also the modern capabilities of digital. There is a fully featured free trial available here at Kiive Audio's website, and there is also an introductory price, a fraction of a price of what this compressor would cost you if you buy the real thing. The link is gonna be in the video description, and first comment, go ahead and check it out, try it out for yourself, and I am sure that you won't regret it. Full disclosure, the company Kiive Audio approached me and contacted me to make this video review for you guys and this demo, but all of the thoughts and opinions remain 100% objectively mine. The members of this company are watching the video at the same time as you do. Before we begin with the content, let me invite you quickly to my website amnerhunter.com, where you can grab some free stuff such as some free PDF guides and ebooks for music producers and guitar players, also some free tools such as some collections of guitar impulses, some collections of drum sample packs, among other utilities, and finally don't forget to be checking out this channel or my blog, which I am updating almost every day with tons of content like this. This is the user interface of this compressor, the same controls as the analog counterpart, but with the capabilities of modern and digital that you can not of course have in the real thing. This compressor is heavily used on many vocal recordings throughout the decades. This compressor has a nice touch, especially on vocals because of the opto compression, but you can use it in different sources. So let's check out the features here. Of course, you have presets available, you have an input and output, you have also oversampling up to 16x. This works to avoid any aliasing distortion, especially when saturating higher frequencies, right? Because this compressor, this plugin, has additional saturation with the THD, which stands for total harmonic distortion, right? If you increase this, you will start to add harmonics, a very pleasant saturation and coloration to the signal, very musical. You have of course the mix control, right, from 0 to 100%. Also you can set it to left and right link. You can turn off this because this compressor also can be used as a mid-side compressor like we see here, right? Mid-side, or also it can be used as a normal stereo plugin. So I have a vocal performance here,
breaking me down to my bones, and fill me with spirit, sword, shield, and armor still.
Very great performance, very great recording, although we need to control the dynamics of this vocal recording a bit. If we can see the waveform here, we're going to be seeing like the changes in dynamics, right, which is natural for voice. This peaks and valleys that are normal in a vocal performance, but we need to really control that in order for the vocal to stand out throughout the mix. This is a rock mix. For instance, let's begin here. We have a gain. With this we can compensate any volume that you or perceived loudness that you might lose during that compression. Then we have a ratio. We have a 2:1 ratio, but we can increase it of course to have a bit more compression. So for the moment,
breaking me down
no compression here, but of course we need to set the attack and release and the threshold for this, right? So you have a fast attack time like the analog counterpart or a slow attack time. On vocals, for instance, let's use a fast attack time but not the fastest attack time. I think it's important to get all of the transients in a vocal performance but without really killing all of the dynamics. So a fast attack time or faster attack time would do that, but if we use the super fast attack time in this plugin, I think we're gonna lose or kill all of the life out of the vocal performance. So let's use a fast attack time. Also, let's use a fast release time so the compressor can go back quickly to compress the other words or phrases. In this case, with a fast release time, the compressor recovers quickly. Of course, the main control here, I would say, to start compressing is the threshold, right? This is the point at which the compressor will start to reduce the dynamic range depending on the incoming signal and the threshold that we set here. So let's begin compressing here.
To my bones.
Nice.
And fill me with spirit, sword, shield, and armor, sticks and stones.
Up to 10 decibels of gain reduction. If you see here in the parts where the volume is increasing in the vocal performance, the compressor is reacting to it and it's reducing it, making it a bit more even, making the dynamics a bit more even. Therefore, it's gonna fit better in a mix.
Breaking me down to my bones.
And it's quickly recovering, quickly enough
fill me with spirit, sword, shield, and armor,
to compress the next.
Sticks and stones are tearing me in two until you start breaking me down.
We lose a bit of perceived loudness, a bit of volume, but we can use, of course, the gain, just like the makeup gain, you could say.
And fill me with spirit, sword, shield, and armor, sticks and stones are tearing me in two until you stop.
Yeah, now the quieter parts of the signal are louder, and the louder parts of the signal, the peaks, are being reduced, so everything is more even, more controlled, and yeah, it works great on vocals.
To my bones and fill me with spirit, sword, shield, and armor, sticks and stones.
You can hear and see how in the louder part of this vocal performance is reducing and compressing like 10 decibels of gain reduction. So
breaking me down.
It really works great on vocals, but we're gonna check it out on other instruments as well. One thing that I really love about this plugin is the total harmonic distortion, because you can introduce some saturation and coloration, adding that, I think, like the expensive sound on modern vocals, right?
Breaking me down to my bones and fill me with spirit, sword, shield, and armor, sticks and stones are tearing me in two until you start breaking me down to my bones.
Nice. Awesome. Very, very musical saturation, beautiful coloration, very pleasant without being like overly harsh or something. And also what the saturation is doing, it's also compressing and rounding up the peaks of the vocal performance, of the dynamics.
To my bones.
If we need more volume
spirit, sword,
to compensate,
shield, and armor, sticks and stones.
Now let's check it out in context of the mix, shall we? So let's first hear it before compression.
Breaking
you can hear easily that the louder parts, of course, are standing out even on top of the instruments, and the quieter parts are being like buried in the mix. And that's not a good thing. We, as listeners of music, we need to be able to catch every word, every phrase that the vocalist is singing, and we need to be able to understand the message, of course, right? So let's put the compressor here. It's not overpowering. If you see here, it's rhythmically like recovering the compressor to start compressing the next part and the next part. Yeah, it's working like dancing to the tempo of the song pretty much. In that louder part in the vocal, it's not overpowering the mix, right? It's reducing it enough. This part, hear it. Let's solo it. Compression off.
Me down to my bones. And
yeah, there's like a major boost there in loudness.
Me down
here.
To my bones.
To my bones, right? And let's hear it with the compressor on.
Down to my bones.
It reduces the dynamic range more, like 10 decibels if you see here.
Me down to my bones.
Having the vocal performance very tight and very even without killing the dynamics, right? We have also a way to set the attack and release manually, also fixed and manual, or completely fixed, right? With this control. Also, the meter of the compressor can be set to measure the gain reduction, the input, or the output as well. In that way, also you can like level match the input and output just having this control together. There's also an internal side chain. The compressor will ignore frequencies in the low end if you want with this compressor, right? So the frequency that you select here, that you set, from that point and below, the compressor will ignore that part of the low end, which by the way, the low end is the frequency range that triggers a compressor the most. I would also like to test this compressor on drums. On drums, for instance, we don't need a fast attack time. I like to use slow attack time on drums, also fast release times. The slow attack time on drums will work better, I think, because you're gonna let the transients go through and you're gonna be compressing more of the body of the signal, fattening up the signal. You're gonna leave and add punch without killing the dynamics, which is very important to have on drums, right? And to not kill the dynamics, to not kill the impact, the initial transient on percussive elements. Slow attack time, fast release time so that it recovers quickly. To keep compressing, let's use a 3:4 ratio to 1, and let's start compressing this drum kit. So let's increase the ratio. It already added some punch. You can notice a bit more smack on the kick and snare. Let's increase the gain before compression. Nice. Before. And to do the compression, we can hear also well, more body, a bit more room sound. Let's use the fastest release time here so that it recovers quickly. fatter, right? And it's not necessarily more volume or something like that. Let's use it also on acoustic guitars. We have some dynamic acoustic guitars, if you can see the waveform here. And also it's natural to have dynamics, of course, on acoustic guitars. But we can use a bit of opto compression with a medium attack time, also a medium to fast release time. Let's use a 3:4:1 ratio. That's like the sweet spot to me, 3:4, around that area. 2:1, it's too little compression for me, and 10:1, of course, yeah, that's a lot. But 3:4:1, I think it's a healthy level. So it's catching the peaks enough, but without like killing them. And it's recovering quickly. Before. Again. Before. We lose a bit of volume, so let's increase it. This will allows us to have a more controlled acoustic guitar, more even as well, without jumping all over the place due to the strumming. It's always a great idea to listen to
breaking me down to my bones and fill me with spirit.
Now on.
Breaking me down to my bones and fill me with spirit. Sword, shield, and armor, sticks and stones.
I think you hear more of that acoustic guitar performance. I think you hear more of the nuances of the acoustic guitar. I have a vocal performance here. I want you to hear it.
The clothes on my body keep me warm through a cold, cold night. The food and drinks just soothe my soul.
Let's use a fast attack time. I have it off for the moment just so that you can hear the vocal performance without compression.
The clothes on my body keep me warm through a cold, cold night. The food and drinks just soothe my soul. Seem to feel alright. The party shared told my troubles to depart. You know better than that, therefore on my heart.
Some words or phrases jumping without control, and some others like getting buried in the mix. Not so much, but let's compress the vocal with this. I'm gonna turn it on. Probably I need some gain here to compensate. First, isolate it.
The clothes on my body keep me warm through a cold, cold night. The food and drinks to soothe my soul seem to feel alright.
Probably we have too much
the party
saturation.
shared told my troubles to depart. You know.
Right, it's compressing a bit, but let's increase the threshold.
On my body keep me warm through a cold, cold night. The food and drinks to soothe my soul seem to feel alright. You know better than that, therefore on my heart.
Awesome. I love the saturation. Really, that's great
my body keep me
color.
Warm through a cold, cold night. The food and drinks to soothe my soul seem to feel alright. The laughs the party shared told my troubles to depart.
Awesome. Let's hear it in context without.
The clothes on my body keep me warm through a cold, cold night.
On.
The food and drinks to soothe my soul seem to feel alright. The laughs the party shared told my troubles to depart. You know better than that, therefore on my heart.
Even that small nuance on the vocal here at the end. Let's hear it without the compression.
Careful on my heart.
That T at the end, it's getting lost a bit, that final like tail. Let's check it out with compression.
Careful on my heart.
It really stands out, I think, more and better, right? Finally elevating that part a bit, not losing it in the context of the mix.
Careful on my heart.
Yeah. So please let me know what you think of this awesome compressor by the company Kiive Audio. I am always interested to know your opinions, and you can of course try it out. There is a fully featured free trial. The link is in the video description, and there's also an introductory price, so I recommend you checking this plugin out. Imagine like 4,000, 5,000 bucks compressor at a fraction of the price and having it on your DAW. Before we leave, my friend, let me invite you quickly to my website, abnerhunter.com, where you can grab some additional free stuff, such as some free PDF guides and ebooks for music producers and guitar players. Also some free tools, such as some collections of guitar impulses, some collections of drum sample bags, among other utilities. And finally, don't forget to check out this channel or my blog, which I am updating almost every day with tons of content like this. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it very much. I will see you very soon in the next video. Alright, bye bye and take care.